to Tile Coach. I'm Isaac Ostrom. I'm a licensed tile contractor in Northern California, and I'm glad you're here with us today. We're doing huge tiles, these 24 by 48 porcelain tiles, and we are doing about 1,400 square foot in this home of these 24 by 48s. These are an Italian factory porcelain tile. A beautiful, beautiful porcelain tile. I like to use Italian factories. They're usually the best, they're usually the most square, the straightest, and have the most screens available to them. But when you're doing these 24 by 48s, there's special considerations you need to make before you start installing. You might think that doing a large tile like this would be easier, that it would go faster. It's actually the opposite. Since the tiles are so big, you need to take special care that you're setting on a flat substrate, and it just takes more work to get everything level, minimize the lippage, that's any high spots between tile to tile. So that's the first thing. But I'm going to go over how we do it, so hopefully you can learn something from it. So you can see on our substrate, we went in and we did some level quick. We did some self-leveling underlayment so that we get our substrate nice and flat and level if possible. If we can't get level, we'll go flat. So we use these long box edges to make sure that we're getting a nice flat substrate without dips or humps in the floor, because if you do, you're going to fight them. You don't want to have to try to build up with thinset as you go. It's much better to start with a self-leveling underlayment. If you've never done that before, let me show you. I'll put you onto a video that I've done before in the past. I'll put that link in the description so you can see it. The other thing that we're going to be doing is using a clip system, a leveling clip system, and this is the Raimondi leveling clips. Basically, the clip sits in under the tile like this, and you're going to put the wedge in, and it's going to help lock the two tiles together and stop any lippage, one tile being higher than the other. So that's another thing to consider. The big tiles, I say it's almost a necessity if you want a successful installation. So we'll be using leveling clips. We're starting with a flat substrate. The thinset mortar we're using, this is Custom Prolite. So this is Custom Prolite. It's rated for large and heavy tile. You can see how much it will stand up, and it's not sagging. It's an expensive thinset, but it's very good. I highly recommend Custom Prolite for doing large tiles, and I'm not sponsored by Customs in any way. I just am showing you the products that I like to use. So you know if I'm using a product, you know that we're using it because we like it. So Custom Prolite is our choice when we're doing these large tiles. So let's get started. Let's get one of these tiles down. So we're going to be using a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch notch. So when you first get your thinset out, just get it down onto the ground. Get as much out as you can, and then start spreading it around. An important tip when doing this, you always want to key your mortar into the substrate. So you see how I'm pushing and I'm hearing the scraping of the aggregate against the substrate? That's important. That's going to mechanically lock the thinset into the substrate. Layout is critical as well. So if you have questions on doing layouts, I have a pretty good video. It's actually an old video that I used before we were using a lot of lasers. I think it's from 2011. But I'll put that link in the description as well so you can see how we do layout. Make sure that we're square with our layout, because I already have my pencil line going here. In these videos, I can't go over everything, or else it would be like a 40-hour long video, which doesn't really work for YouTube. So I try to not be redundant, and if I have another video, I'll try to point you to those videos in the description. So after I've keyed the mortar I'm trying to get a nice even bed of Thinset. TCNA wants us to shoot for 80% coverage. That's 80% mortar coverage. So we don't want pockets and voids in the Thinset. So it's really important that you get good coverage. When we're using our leveling clips, I like to go with a 1/2 inch notch on the ground. Sometimes you can get away with just a back butter, but we're going to go with a 1/2 inch foam on the back of the tile too. That's going to give us a little bit more of a cushion, a little more play when we're setting these tiles. So I'm going to do the same thing, get the same amount of mortar on the tile. And you see I'm not handling the tiles like normally if I had a 12 by 24 I'd have it in my hand and I'd be back buttering it like this. It's nice to have little carts. We just have a little dolly here to move our tiles around. It decreases fatigue because these tiles can get really heavy, and if you're doing it for a long time, you know, it can take a toll on your back, your shoulders, your arms. So whatever help you can get, use it. You'll also notice I got a good 45-degree angle with my trowel. If you go less, you're going to end up with less Thinset than you want. You want to take your margin trowel and take off knock down the mud on the edge so it doesn't goop up through the joint. And it's going to allow us to put our leveling clips in here. So you just slip it under one before. I'm going to put 3 on the long side, 2 on the short side, and that should be about right. It just broke my clip. That's all right. I can slip another one in there. Have you had that happen? So what happened when I dropped the tile, I probably should have dropped it nice and slow. It actually broke my clip off. I'm just going to put another one in there. And so we want to make sure that we are embedding. We are really, you know, I can see I'm moving the tile back and forth because I want to make sure that those mortar ridges collapse underneath it, and you know that it's not just floating, because I have two comb notches and I don't want that just floating. So one of the mistakes that people make with these leveling clips is that they will just set their tile and then clip it up together, and if there's not mortar coverage underneath it, it's going to end up breaking that tile down the road because you're going to end up with hollow spots. The other thing these clips do, which is nice, when you get these big tiles, a lot of times they're bowed a little bit. They'll usually crown in the middle. And so when you have the clips, it'll actually suck the tiles together. So I can tell I have really good coverage under here. And periodically we'll check, especially if we got a part in the substrate where we know we're kind of building up. We'll pop the tile again and just check to make sure we got that 80% coverage. And you also want to make sure that you get good coverage on the edge of the tile, because if there's any breakage, it's usually on the edge. So you want to make sure you got mortar under there. So now that I got the tile installed, I'm going to go ahead and, now that I got the clips in, and take the wedges. So these are the Raimondi wedges, and what's nice is you can reuse these wedges a bunch of times. I mean, you could probably use them 6, 8, 10 times before they, they'll start to get damaged after a while, like this one's broke. But you get to reuse these. These guys stay in here and we break them off when we're all done. I don't know why we use the Raimondi. We just started using it. And I've tried the spin ones. I really don't like those. These tend to break off really, really nicely when you go and you have to break them off the next day. So we've just had good luck with the Raimondi. Again, I'm not paid by them. They've never sent me anything free. It's just what we use. And through your guys' support of my channel, and I appreciate everybody who's buying merchandise off our new website. I really appreciate it. That helps keep our videos unbiased, because I'm not reaching out to manufacturers for support or anything free. So if I say, hey, I like these Raimondis, you can trust it. The nice thing about these guys is real easy to use. It's kind of ergonomic. You're not putting a bunch of stress on your hands or anything. This gun, oh, that one broke off. Have you ever had them break off like that?
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess that's one thing you gotta watch out for. So this clip actually broke off in there, so now I can't get another clip in unless I take everything out, which I'm not gonna do. I'm gonna see if I can get this tuned up, no lippage. And it looks like I do. I don't think I have any lippage there. See, I don't have any lippage. So I don't need to worry about it. I don't need to put a clip in there. We're good there. Everything else looks good. Push this down a little bit. So there you go. I got a nice flat tile, and we just need to do about 100 more of these guys. But yeah, that's about it for doing the floor. Again, to reiterate, start with as flat of a substrate as possible, because you don't want to be building up and guessing how much mortar to put under your tile. You see I put a nice even bed on the ground, put a nice even bed on the back of my tile, and that was just about right. That'll keep it flowing. You might think, well, I want to skip the step of getting the floor flat. Well, if this wasn't flat, I'd be guessing. I'd have to pull this tile up, put more mortar under it, squish it back down, and that's just a lot harder way to go. So we're going to keep going with this, but let me show you, I want to show you before we go. This is a repeat customer, so it's kind of cool. When we come back, we did a shower for them in 2013. So I want to show you the shower we did, and it's nice to come back to your old work and see it still in good shape. But this is a bathroom we did. We did the floor, we did the shower. This is a Schluter shower. This is Schluter Curdy, and this is before I was putting any other waterproofing on it. So this was just Curdy. The Thinset we were using was Ardex X5. Everything is holding up great, no problem. So this is 8 years. This shower looks almost as good as when we put it in. So that's really cool. It's just a good feeling to come back and see your old work. My buddy Mark Cole, who worked, well, he's not really my buddy anymore, but Mark Cole's a good guy. I love him. He was working for me for about 6 years. We parted ways, but he did this install, and he did a fabulous job. But I was in here helping with the waterproofing and everything. But yeah, so we did a mortar base. We did Curdy waterproofing over it. Again, Ardex X5. Nice Schluter trim. This is the Schluter Quadec. We kind of matched it up with the bronze and all the fixtures. So it came out really nice, but the pan looks great. The drain looks great. So yeah, it's nice to know that the Schluter stuff we were doing is holding up. So I've never had a problem with our Schluter installs, our Schluter Curdy. Again, through my testing, I've found some weak points in it, but for the normal use of a shower, you don't have to worry about it. And this is just, this is evidence of that. So it is on a slab, so I can't tell exactly what's going on under it, but it's held up and it's doing good. So yeah, so we've done, I already took some, so yeah, so the floor, this is what we've got done already. And again, I say we. I'm just part of the team. Kirk and Luke and Johnny have done a great job in here. You can see here's the floor. There's no lippage on it. It's looking really nice. And yeah, we got in here done too. So we've been getting about what did Kirk say, about 200 feet a day going down? Yeah, so with 3 guys, 200 feet a day, which is going at a great clip. I thought we would be more like 100 to 150 square feet a day. But leveling the floor, you know, really helped out with our speed. So this floor is looking great. So yeah, we're probably, yeah, not quite halfway done. We're about almost halfway done. So we got this room to do. Coming in here, and I'll show you the, this is our cutting station here. So this is Kirk's. This is Kirk's 36,000. So you guys are liking it,
I love it.
Yeah, yeah. So we also have a big bridge saw. We have an Eimer, a 59-inch bridge saw that we're doing all our 24x48s with. But this 36,000 has been kicking butt, and the guys said they didn't even want me to bring the bridge saw over. So it's been going really good. We have this squeegee. Kirk, is this your idea?
Well, no, they figured it out.
Oh, so we got a squeegee just for cleaning off the tiles and everything. But we noticed if you put the tile down and you put the squeegee right here, it contains all of the water as you push it through. We don't get any water onto the ground out here. And so that's really nice. It's really nice to keep things clean, and then you're not staining the concrete and all that stuff. But so yeah, the 36,000 is doing good.
Is that what it is? DeWalt 36,000?
3,600. Oh. 3,600. No, it's 36,000 actually. Oh, is it? Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, I got corrected on that. I thought it was 3,600. There's 3 zeros to it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would have called it the 36 million.
Okay, so we're just gonna keep on keeping on. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you got something out of it. Make sure to watch the next video coming up. And last but not least, I love you guys. I love being your tile coach, and we'll see you on the next video.